Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that's on the minds of a lot of men, especially once you hit 50, and that's prostate health. We're going to dive into how some really simple foods, things you can find anywhere, are actually backed by science and can help you feel more comfortable and a lot more confident.
Seriously, what if I told you that a small, everyday snack could start to make a real, noticeable difference in just a matter of days? We're not talking about complicated procedures or prescriptions with a long list of side effects. Just something natural, simple, and powerful. It sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, the science says otherwise.
You know, for so many men, this list is just daily life. It's that constant nagging need to go to the bathroom. It's nights that are broken up into a bunch of little naps. It's that frustration of standing there and feeling like you're never quite done. It just wears you down. And let me tell you, you do not have to just put up with it as part of getting older.
And here's the thing, the really surprising truth that's backed by a ton of research. Nature has already provided us with some incredibly powerful tools. There are compounds in certain foods that can help calm inflammation, improve your flow, and boost your overall health. This stuff just doesn't seem to reach the guys who need to hear it most. But today, we're going to change that.
All right, let's get right to the good stuff. We're going to break down the 5 most effective, science-backed nuts for your prostate. Each one has its own unique superpower, but when you put them together, you get a really potent strategy for feeling better.
First up, we've got a real all-star. Pumpkin seeds. These are recommended all the time for a reason. There's this story about a 67-year-old retired fireman who was getting up 5, even 6 times a night. He was just exhausted. He tried meds, but they just made him dizzy. So he made one tiny change, a handful of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds every day. And get this, in just 3 days, he was only waking up twice a night. Incredible. So what's the magic behind this? Well, your prostate is kind of like a sponge for zinc. And when your levels are low, it can lead to enlargement, and pumpkin seeds are packed with zinc. But the real secret weapon here is something called beta-sitosterol. Think of the hormone DHT as gasoline on the fire, prostate growth. Well, beta-sitosterol helps block that DHT, basically telling the prostate to, calm down. Okay, so while pumpkin seeds can bring some pretty quick relief, our next nut, the Brazil nut, is more of a long game player. This is for your long-term cellular health. Take a guy named George, who felt like he was on what he called a prostate roller coaster. His PSA levels were always up and down, and it was a huge source of stress for him.
Now listen, this is really important. With Brazil nuts, you have to be precise. This isn't about eating them by the handful. In fact, that's a big mistake. All you need is 1 or 2 a day. That's it. Any more than that, and you risk getting too much selenium. So think of it as a small, consistent, daily investment in your future health.
So why is that tiny dose so powerful? Because Brazil nuts are the single richest source of selenium on the planet. And selenium is like a bodyguard for your prostate cells. It's a powerful antioxidant that goes around neutralizing these damaging little things called free radicals. For George, after about 3 months of this simple habit, his PSA levels had actually dropped a bit. And that dull, achy feeling he always had started to fade.
All right. From cellular protection, let's switch gears and talk about circulation and inflammation. And for that, we turn to our third protector, walnuts. Think about Frank, a 68-year-old retired mechanic. He had the usual bathroom issues, but on top of that, he just felt slow, mentally foggy. For him, food was just something to fill his stomach, not fuel his body.
And here is why walnuts made such a huge difference for him. They are absolutely loaded with plant-based omega-3s. These healthy fats are amazing at calming down chronic inflammation all over your body, including in the prostate. But that's not all. They also improve blood flow. And better circulation doesn't just help your prostate. It helps your brain, your heart,
And as Frank was very happy to report, his sexual health too. He said he felt sharper, had more energy, and joked that his wife was smiling at him a lot more.
Next up is a classic favorite that actually packs a serious 1-2 punch: almonds. There was a 64-year-old named Daniel. He was doing all the right things, walking every day, drinking plenty of water, but he was still getting up multiple times a night. So he started a super simple habit: just 10 raw, soaked almonds every single morning.
So why did this little change work so well? It's because of that two-pronged attack. First, you've got vitamin E, which acts like a protective shield for your prostate cells. But at the exact same time, you've got magnesium, which helps relax your bladder muscles. And this is so key because a relaxed bladder lets you empty it more completely. No more of that frustrating feeling that you're not quite done. After 3 weeks, Daniel was down to waking up just once a night.
All right, our final protector today might actually surprise you. Most of us just think of pecans for holiday pies, right? But they are an absolute nutritional powerhouse. A retired principal named Robert said the only time he ever ate pecans was at Thanksgiving. But once he learned what they could do, he started a whole new daily routine.
So what makes pecans so special? Well, it turns out they are another fantastic source of that same beta-testosterone we found in pumpkin seeds, the stuff that helps block that growth-fueling DHT hormone. And on top of that, they are just jam-packed with antioxidants. After a month, Robert reported that he was sleeping better and just felt like he'd gotten a real piece of his life back. Okay, so we have covered 5 incredible, powerful foods. But knowledge is pretty useless if you don't act on it. So let's put this all together into a simple, no-excuses plan that you can literally start today. This is how you make a real change. First, don't try to do everything at once. You'll just get overwhelmed. Just pick 2 nuts to start with. Honestly, pumpkin seeds and Brazil nuts are a great combo. Second, quality matters. Look for raw or lightly roasted with no salt or sugar. Third, build the habit. Tie it to something you already do every day, like your morning coffee. And finally, track how you feel. Just a simple note each day about your symptoms can be incredibly motivating when you start to see the improvements. All right, now it is your turn. Making a public commitment, even a small one, is a really powerful motivator. So looking at these 5, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, walnuts, almonds, and pecans, which one are you going to add to your routine first? Go ahead and drop it in the comments below. It's a great first step toward taking back control. As we're wrapping up, I really want you to remember this one thing. The real magic isn't in any single food. It's not a magic pill. The true power is in consistency. It's the small, smart choices you make day after day after day that really build that strong foundation for health. And this right here is the key message I want you to walk away with. You are not powerless in this. You have so much more control over your health than you've probably been led to believe. This isn't some inevitable decline. It's the start of a new chapter, a healthier, more comfortable, and more confident one. And it all begins with the choices you make starting right now. So just remember these 3 things. That's it. Start small, stay consistent, and take control. Because you are the one with the power to make a difference. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. I really hope you found it helpful and maybe a little empowering too. We'll look forward to seeing you again in the next one.